Now, Efren does a pretty good job on these type kick shots. I would not be terribly surprised to see a pretty good chance of Efren maybe going to the side cushion on the right-hand side of the table as you look at it, and hitting the one ball full and bringing the one ball down on the same side of the table that it's resting on now to the opposite end and try to leave the cue ball on that end of the table. No, he chose to play offense. Tried to kick the ball in and accept it where the one ball ends up laying at. And that can turn out well as well. Great cut shot by Earl. And he's been a little misfortunate.
Given the rate that they're playing now, Mark, would you say that the momentum has swung to one player to the other?
Yeah, I would say any of the racks that go more than one turn of the table definitely favor Efren. There's a nice shot. Didn't try to do too much for position because the shot was so demanding you couldn't risk trying to obtain ideal position.
Well, this type of play can't be too greedy.
No, and I think you can see that the toll of the battle here is taking a little toll on the pocketing accuracy of these guys. At that point, once that pocketing is diminished slightly, then tactics become all the more important.
And we're tied up again at 23 all.
For that reason, I think that's why a lot of the onlookers kind of feel that Efren's a virtually invincible force. In the short run, the wide-open offensive guy can get on a streak and just annihilate somebody. But over the long haul, the tactics comes in, and it makes it harder to maintain that high level of offense throughout. And sometimes when you play that high level of offense, you tend to rely a little bit on fortune, too, to cooperate with you in order to generate enough offense.
In a protracted battle, Earl, Mark, would you say that one player has the advantage over the other in this situation?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Most of the experts feel that Efren does possess an advantage in that situation. It's yet to be seen, but one thing's for sure, that Efren has never really lost in a protracted battle. So, and we saw a scratch on the break. And
well, the break continues to hound Efren Reyes in this match.
Yeah, you really don't want to carry a lot of turnovers off the break. That's very bad. One thing that's something that Earl doesn't do too often. And you're playing right into his hand if you can get a ball in hand from the break.
Is there a possibility that Efren Reyes is maybe trying too hard on the break?
I don't think he's thinking that. You can see a little less than ideal position off a ball in hand situation. Now, he made a great shot, and he is a great shot maker. But you certainly, with ball in hand, try to achieve better position to begin with, so you don't have to be such a tremendous shot maker. Well, bumped to 6, but he didn't obtain much of a shot on the 4. Looks like he may have to play safe. He's handled the safety quite nicely. That was a real nice save. And even if he left Efren a shot, it's going to be difficult to negotiate the 6 ball to get across the table to the 5, which rests on the same rail the cue ball does now. Oh, what a shot. What a tremendous shot. Now, you had to use a lot of power on that so that the cue ball hopped off the rail to hit the high side of the 6, allowing the cue ball to come to this side of the table. Had he used a softer speed, he would have hit too much of the 6 and there was no way to possibly obtain position. Efren, he was a little lucky in that he didn't scratch, but he was a little unlucky in that he didn't obtain a direct route to the 5-ball. Appears that he's going to have to hook the cue ball or slightly massate it around the point on the pocket. He's eyeing that up as we speak.
This is not taking any chances here.
Well, this is a shot that he's particularly good at, and while I'm not guessing that he's going to make it, I will assure you that he's going to be close.
Yeah, it's more than close.
That's a tremendous shot to get the Q-tip out of the way and hit the ball that hard.
When you get to this level, Mark, is there any possibility that there are situations that come up that you've never seen before?
While the balls never lay exactly the same ever,
right.
But all these they've shot at those type shots enough that they, especially at this level, no, I think they handle everything pretty well. Efren got a real fortunate roll there, and you can see the pocketing, the straight-in pocketing is diminished some from the first half of the match. And it's a byproduct of the mental strain and stress that eats up a lot of energy, and it requires so much focus and concentration to play well that you're going to see the pocketing go down, the games will slow down a bit, and become a little more tactical.
So it'd certainly be incorrect to say that there is no physical aspect to this game.
Oh, definitely, and training definitely weighs in. Efren's in good shape. I mean, he's very thin and svelte, so that doesn't take a toll. Being overweight would be just brutal to try to play a match of this length. Okay, the ball he's trying to make is the right-handed red 3-ball. One that went to the side, rimmed the pocket, stayed out.
So Earl Strickland comes up.
Made a nice opening shot, but it was a thin cut in the side. A little more difficult than it looked.
Well, one thing for sure, Mark, there's never been a down moment in this match.
No. No, it's definitely been worth the price of airfare.
Oh, yeah. Game for Earl Strickland. And we're all tied again at 24 by my count.
So it's down to a race to 11 for today's session, and that would be the maximum difference.
Of course, things could turn out differently tomorrow, but at this juncture, it has been a neck-and-neck race between Earl Strickland and Efren Reyes.